It's Fantastic Comics.
And it's the 10th episode of
Tuesday Night! Tuesday Night. It's a comic book by Radical Comics. I have no idea about who writes it or draws it, but it was very intriguing and very well written. The plot is there's this dude that kills a bunch of people, and then some stuff happens. And it's just, I don't know. I don't want to ruin it because if I talk about the plot, I'll ruin it, but I could not put it down. I wanted to keep on reading. I wanted more and more, so I was very pleasantly surprised about it.
Alright, well, I'll go on right next to it to Daredevil. I stole your thunder there. Marco Smart. Whoa, I just said that. Mark Waid writes it, and Paulo Rivera is the artist. And in it, if you can believe it, Captain America and Daredevil fight. I've never heard of two heroes fighting before, but they do.
And speaking of Captain America #2 comes out.
But I don't know if Daredevil's in it or not.
No, Daredevil's not in it. But it's a continuation, obviously, from the first one. And Brubaker's still writing, and he's still...
Steve McNiven's the artist.
Yeah. And they're still in form, and it's really great. It's awesome. It's fantastic, even.
It's fantastic. A book I'd like to focus in on is Spider Island Spider-Girl #1. It is a mini-series. I don't usually read the adventures of Spider-Girl, Aranya, she used to be. She's a Hispanic young woman, and in it, again, everybody has spider powers, or at least a lot of New York has spider powers, but this time I guess there's this hornet or wasp guild that goes after spider heroes, so they're introduced into the mix, along with a whole bunch of other people. Ninjas.
Down this way, we have Gladstone's School for World Conquerors, one of my favorite titles. Again, it's an all-ages book. It's constantly funny, and it's just hilarious, and yeah, it's worth a read. If you haven't started reading it, sure we can get the old issues and start reading it now.
We should talk about Fear Itself and Flashpoint. There are some stories that are finished. Deadpool for Fear Itself is finished. Homefront continues on in Flashpoint. Abin Sur, Legion of Doom, Outsider, and Wonder Woman and the Furies are all finished. Continuing that theme with finished books from DC. Batman's over. That's a shame. Everybody's looking forward to the relaunch, I'm sure. As is Legion of Superheroes. There will be a new one of those. And Superboy. Finishing off the run to Jeff Lemire, who does Sweet Tooth and is going to be doing the new adventures of Animal Man and Frankenstein, I do believe. Continuing with the Fear Itself, there's a bunch of books that have come out, but I would like to focus mostly on the Uncanny X-Men story because the Juggernaut has one of the hammers and he's charging through, trying to get to San Francisco, and the X-Men are doing everything they can to stop it. And then the X-Men also has a big mini-series event called Schism. Daniel Acuna is the artist on this one, and Jason Aaron's continues to write, and it's going to lead into all the big, important events that are going to happen later on in X-Men this year.
And last but not least, Ultimate Fallout Spider-Man issue 6 is out, and that's the last issue before the new Ultimate Comics Spider-Man starts.
And Ultimate
X-Men and all the other Ultimates.
Avengers,
so, yeah, pick that one up and get ready for the new relaunch of pretty much everything. Let's go over to the trades.
Sure. So I'm going to quickly run through some trades. Razzle Volume 2. If you have the oversized version of that, this continues the adventures of the time-traveling thief. Tales of the Batman, Gene Colan, Volume 1. He is a fantastic artist, and a lot of the 80s Batmans that he did actually have gone up in price and are overlooked quite often by fans. The new X-Men continue, the small version, Volume 4, continuing the Grant Morrison run on the new X-Men. This cover actually is the issue that is my favorite of his run, following Zorn and his gallivanting throughout New York. I haven't read this yet. It's big. I've looked through it. It's called Mr. Murder is Dead. And the thing I like about it, or the thing I've noticed about it also, is that it's very much like an old comic strip initially, where it tells a very innocent version of a newspaper strip, like from the old days. And then it focuses on a more current type of storyline. And in it, you find out that Mr. Murder is dead. And the main character of the old strip is a guy named the Spook. And that's him. So, interesting book. Haven't read it all the way through, but I do like it. And lastly, an omnibus of Too Much Coffee Man. Some may know him only for Converse commercials, but if you've ever read this book, it's pretty cool. I was reading it when I didn't want to admit that I read superhero comics anymore, or I wanted to continue to read comics and maybe have the illusion that I might get laid. Yes, but Too Much Coffee Man is a good book. I recommend buying it, and if you do buy it from me, I'll tell you a story about Shannon Wheeler and myself. Thank you.
Hey guys, I just wanted to point out the cool new toys we have in. It's Wonder Woman and Cyborg and Batman and Flash from the Flashpoint series, and these mini Mezits, DC mini Mezits. So while you're in here, pick these.
We also have posters.
And we have a new poster. We have a new Hulk poster, as well as the ones we've had. There's the new Hulk poster, and then we have a Daredevil, Ghost Rider, and Captain America one we've had in, but we've never talked about. And remember, every Wednesday is new comics.